Welcome, everybody. Glad to see everyone here, and thank you for coming to the NS3 pool launch party. Thank you again for attending, and just wanted to take a note quickly. We have, I think, a couple of folks from the New Silver team, Alex, our co-founder, and John, our head of capital markets and strategic partnerships, are here. So if you guys want to say a quick hello.
Hey guys, nice to see everyone. Happy to be here for this occasion.
Same here, John Corey here, head of capital markets.
Cool, thank you guys. So yeah, and thanks for the Centrifuge team, the Dow, for putting this whole thing together, for providing us the support along the way with this, fairly new endeavor, I guess, on the Centrifuge new chain and software and all that. So we're glad to be at the one of the early adopters again, and continue in the path that we started with. What is it now, 3 years or so ago? Back when Tin Lake was just starting up. So today, I think the goal is that we'll share some of the details on the NS3 pool that we'll be launching. The target date is April 15th. I have a quick presentation to go through, and then we can take questions either along the way. I'm going to take a quick pause after each slide. There's not that many slides, and I'll kind of go through them, and then we'll share the presentation for everyone to see, including this recording as well. And then after that, we can do a quick AMA. If there are questions afterwards, we're happy to take them at that point also. So if there's anything that anyone wants to mention before we start, please do so now. Otherwise, I'll begin the presentation. All right. Here we go. And again, some of this might be redundant to some folks who are familiar with the NS2 pool that we have currently on Tin Lake, and we've had for a while now. Like I said, about 3 years, I believe it is. But just for folks who are not familiar with New Silver, we are a tech-enabled lender. We focus on marketing, underwriting, and lending to real estate investors in the United States. We are as of today, we're in 39 different states, and that changes slightly. I think before we were 41, we kind of paused lending in a couple of states, but that goes back and forth a little bit. And we focus on fix and flip construction lending. So our clients, our borrowers, are usually small businesses. It could be a one person or a small partnership who are in the business of buying real estate and rehabbing and then reselling it, or folks who are in the business, to a lesser degree, folks who are in the business of buying real estate and then becoming a landlord by renting out these properties. So we were founded in 2018 and went live in 2019. We've originated over 200 million worth of loans as of now. We've written all of our own technology, so everything that we use ourselves, aside from obviously the Centrifuge stuff, but for the purposes of underwriting and management of these loans, we've created ourselves. And essentially, it's a platform that allows us to price loans instantly or very quickly online, and for our clients to be able to get a term sheet and a proof of funds very quickly, and essentially, manage their whole loan life cycle online. So that's the gist of our technology at a high level. Of course, there's a lot that goes into it that we've been working on for all these years. We started, like I said, again, with Centrifuge about 3 years ago. We were at the time the first real world asset on Centrifuge, and the first, or one of the first, maybe, I don't know, I don't remember if we're the very first, but we're the first to go live with MakerDAO Vault. So that was back, I believe, in 2021. So a little bit on this, a little bit of the specifics on this pool on NS3. So this is essentially a pool of our loans that we market, underwrite, and originate, and then service. We have, this is a 2 tranche pool. The junior tranche is 15%. Senior tranche is 85%. Senior tranche pays a fixed return of 8%, and then a junior tranche is a variable return. We're targeting a $10 million raise, or 10 million USDC raise, and there's some info about our average loan size. I'm happy to. I don't want to go into details because there's quite a few different metrics there, but I'm happy to answer questions afterwards, or I can take a pause here and answer questions. But aside from this pool, essentially, I think the difference between how we launched originally and what we have now in NS2 is that we have there's a trust that is built. It's a legal trust that's an indentured trust that's managed by Anchor, a trust company. They are the trustee and then the verification agent. So essentially, what they do every time that a loan is sold into this trust, the verification agent makes sure that the loan fits into the parameters of the pool as well. So that nothing is breached, no covenants are breached. The loan, is what we say it is essentially, and then any kind of transactions that happen with loan repayments and things like that, the trustee approves those transactions. So when USDC flows from Circle to the bank or vice versa, Circle to a wallet, all of those transactions are approved by Anchor Trust. So they're there to act on behalf of the investors. Also, if something happens to New Silver serves as the asset manager. So we essentially manage all the ongoing loan stuff, and also as the exchange agent, meaning that we exchange funds from US dollars to USDC, and handle the payments and all that. But if something happens to either the exchange agent or the asset manager, there's plans in place where Anchor Trust will perform certain actions to essentially oversee a wind down of the company that has to happen, or of the trust repayment to the investors. So they're there, they're an independent third party. They get paid, and then if something happens, they get paid by us. If something happens to us, they'll get paid out of the proceeds of the wind down. But they're there to make sure that investors are protected as much as possible. So happy to take any quick questions now, or we can save them for after. Okay. So this is just an example of what the New Silver loan looks like. This is a typical loan. They could be a little bit different. This is probably on the higher end of the leverage. So this loan is 85% loan to cost. So a typical loan could be up to 85%, sometimes up to 90% loan to cost. Rarely, I mean, our portfolio average has to be below 87.5%. So 85% loan to cost could be the typical scenario. And then this kind of shows you how the capital is allocated within each loan. So obviously there's some borrower equity, and then there's junior and the senior tranche within each loan. Any questions on this one? All right. Yeah, this kind of goes through it again, how the loan is structured, with some more details, the construction reserves, and then there's some risk mitigation factors of the things that we do as an asset manager, as an originator, to essentially mitigate risk. There's for risk mitigation. I mean, we do quite a lot of things. Again, I'm not gonna kind of go through them all here, but as far as our underwriting process at a high level, we look at the borrower, we look at their credit worthiness, we look heavily at the project, we look at the borrower's experience. This is very important. What we found, through our experience and through experience of others that we learned from, is that borrower experience is pretty important. If they know what they're doing, they can usually work around the various challenges that come up. We also have a third-party servicer called FCI. That servicer is basically there to collect payments, but they could do a lot more. So if there is some kind of a default process, they can handle that process if we want them to. They have national footprint. They're able to provide any kind of legal and servicing help in any of the states in the United States. Just real quick on our tech platform. Again, it's really there for quick pricing of loans. I mean, we have a number of different APIs, some of our own algorithms that we built over time. And so the platform basically underwrites the borrower in the property automatically, and it provides an end value of as is and after repair. We're obviously, we spend a lot of time thinking about what the value will be after the construction is complete, because this is what the end project is going to bring in. And so our technology is really made to, I think there's quite a few other techs out there that can evaluate the as is value of the property. Like there's AVMs, and obviously there's manual appraisals, which we also use in addition to our platform. So this isn't the final underwriting. This is the initial conditional approval that borrowers get. But we try to figure out what their price is today and what the price of the project will be after the construction has been completed. This is just a quick overview of the loans that we do. Again, sort of standard, industry standard. I mean, we're middle of the road as far as what our criteria is. These are the maximums. Obviously, our portfolio is not up to the maximum. We're well below the maximum. So like I said, the loan to cost, we go up to 90%, but our portfolio has to be below 87.5%. If we look at our NS2 portfolio, it's quite a ways below that. So it's somewhere in the low 80s, or sometimes even below 80. So we're fairly middle of the road. I wouldn't say we're the most conservative, but we're definitely not the most aggressive. Yeah, there's some more information about our underwriting process and our servicing and draw processes. If someone is interested in the specifics, like I said, this presentation will be shared, and you can read all of these things and or reach out to us to figure out specific questions if you have them. And then this is some data that we pulled. This goes through October, I believe, or I'm sorry, December of last year. So it's a little bit dated. We do it in the quarterly increments. So this is through the end of last quarter. We're now kind of at the tail end of Q1, obviously, of 24. So but this gives you an idea of our origination volume. Our averages, here's for example our average LTC. As you can see, it's right at 80. This is through December of 23. Our average after repair value is below 70, and our average loan to value is well below 70, in the low 60s. This is the org chart if you guys are interested in seeing who does what. And that's really it. John's contact is here, and obviously you guys will have my contact. That concludes our quick presentation. So I'm happy to answer any questions on the pool, on our products, on our goals, or anything that you guys are thinking about.
Yeah, actually, I have two questions. What are the minimum requirements to invest in junior tranche? And the second question, as you know, Centrifuge protocol approved protocols fee, and how this fee will impact new silver pool.
Yeah, so I mean, the fee is what it is. I mean, we figured the fee into the economics. We're anticipating all of both the senior and the junior pool are for accredited investors only. It is open for folks from outside the U.S. and from the U.S. Yeah, I mean, so that's really the minimum requirement. And then as far as yields, junior is a variable yield, but we anticipate it to be somewhere in the mid-teens.
And what about the amount? Did it start from 20K, 50K, or?
I believe we had set it to 25K as the minimum, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, thank you.
Yep. Any other questions?
Hi, Kaveh. I haven't seen you in a while.
Hi. How are you?
And how are you planning to onboard investors? Like, what's your KYC process? Do you use the,
Yes.
are you planning to use the app or do you have your own?
Yeah, so I think we're planning to use the app. You know, I think this is we haven't gone through that process yet, but I know it's fairly new for everyone. But we're hoping to use the app. So
Okay.
yeah, for accreditation, I believe we can do it ourselves, but for like this for you know for US accreditation at least, but for KYC, the app, and I'm not even sure if they do accreditation. So I think it's KYC only. So yeah, I think we're definitely planning to use the app for KYC.
I think you can also do investor accreditation with Shafty Pro, like they also support it. So it's a pretty flexible solution. And then we can also
Yeah.
work on tailor the flow if you need any other requirements. But I think Jay will take you
do
through it.
accreditation. We can probably use it for that as well. We haven't we haven't got to that point honestly yet, but yeah, we do plan
Yeah.
on using.
And what's happening with NS2? Is it just, will it stay alive and trot along?
Yeah, no, NS2 is definitely staying. You know, it's we've deployed. I think it's up to I don't know 20 some million in total deployment, and we're working to deploy the rest of it. Yeah, I mean it's definitely staying. We you know we hope that it's gonna be there for some time to come. And but if anyone is currently an investor in NS2, you know you're welcome to look at NS3 as a new investment for you or as a secondary investment, whatever you like. So there's a little bit of a higher yield for senior investors in NS3, and there's a little bit of a lower you know lower junior senior spread. So you know I'd say it's I guess on paper it's a little bit more risky. You know, for senior investors because the NS2 has 20% buffer. This has 15. In reality, I believe both of them are very safe. You know, we have obviously the if you guys look at the presentation afterwards, the structure of the loan is that the borrower brings in at least 15% of their own equity. So, you know, if you think about the structure, then it's 15% borrower, and then at least 15% junior. So that's 30%. So that means that, you know, real estate that we have has to decline by at least by more than 30% for senior tranche to be impacted, which is, you know, a very significant decrease. I think even in the last financial crisis of 2008, you know, we've seen that was probably the worst of the value drops that we've seen across the country. Anyone, any other questions? Well, I guess if no other questions, then I guess we could probably wrap it up, right? And yeah, we'll post the presentation. We'll post everything on the forums. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, please reach out to myself or the team. We'll get back to you quickly. Thank you, everyone.
Great.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.